This week, David thinks that AI is coming for all truckers' jobs. Chloe swoons over Padro Pascal, and I think that some children probably deserve to die. So, with that, let's strap down, let's strap in, and let's do this.
This is just another trucking podcast.
Oh,
I hate you so much. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Such an
Sorry, mate. I was thinking partway through that. How dedicated to this joke am I? How dedicated am I? Can I sit here for a solid minute just staring at the camera?
10 seconds, I think you went for?
Yeah, well, it wasn't that dedicated.
Okay. So far, everyone sounds great. Anyway, cool. Whatever.
Well, that's always good to hear.
What's that thing? I see the people doing this in England where they do it.
Booyakasha!
Booyakasha.
I can't do it.
Can you do it, Tom? Did you actually do it?
Yeah.
What a blood.
Like that. Basically,
I've managed to do it.
one second. Let me do it.
Point.
Oh, 1 second.
I don't know.
Like that. Basically, just let your finger go floppy, and basically just slamming it between your thumb and your other finger.
No.
So it's like that.
Can you do it in slow motion?
Booyakasha! What a blood!
Oh yeah.
What are we doing? No,
Wagwan,
it's not working.
You know what?
So,
Okay,
honestly,
hold
this
on.
is the coolest thing I've ever felt.
Do you guys know how to whistle? Do you guys know how to how to really loud whistle?
No, I've always wanted to.
Hold on.
I can't do it.
All right. This is weird. This
I've done it
freaked
once.
me out.
Go
all
on.
right. There's a trick where you're guaranteed to be able to do it.
Yeah,
all right.
apparently there
Right.
is stuff.
So 4 fingers. Okay, right?
I've seen this porn. I'm sure of it.
All right. I still can't do it properly, but I can get a whistle out. All right.
Right.
So
Right.
4
4
fingers.
fingers.
Now you got to curl
4
your
fingers.
tongue back. Okay.
Like that. All right.
Yeah, and maybe 2 fingers. Hold on.
and then
It actually, a whistle actually came out. Hold on.
This needs to be in an outtakes video, honestly. It's hilarious.
What the fuck is happening right
Where
now?
do you put your tongue to your fingers, though? Do you wrap your tongue
Excuse me.
around your fingers
Okay,
or wrap them on
Is
your
this some kind
back?
of fucking life hack? What the?
Do you do that? Oh, I did it!
There we go.
I kind of
Yes.
did it.
Well done.
You kind of did it, but that's a start. That's a start.
Fucking shit.
But isn't it funny that you all of a sudden the whistle?
No,
comes
it's
out?
not
I can't do
funny.
that.
It doesn't work.
This is such a good life hack, guys. I'm well impressed.
Oh well, oh, whatever. It worked. I don't know. I feel like because the camera's on me, it won't actually work for me. But hey, you did get a whistle out. You did get a whistle out.
I did get a whistle.
Um,
I'll practice. We'll come back next week and we'll try again. All right. Oh, Ness is not looking happy at us. Housekeeping.
Well, I haven't started yet.
Yes, well, that's the first thing you're going to do is housekeeping, okay?
Producer's already angry. We're not even into it yet. Oh dear.
Let's start the show. Let's
I'm
start.
not angry. Look at my face.
Right.
I'm fine.
Hello. This is Just Another Trucking Podcast. I am your host Tom, and I'm joined as always by my good friends, co-hosts, and
Who you barely tolerate. Yeah. Get
I
on
was
with it.
Yeah,
I was
we
going
get
to
the
say
picture.
that, but no, I'll be honest with you. I'm feeling. You know what? I've got
feeling
my
the
truck.
love now.
I've got my truck back. I will talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
And yeah, I feel the love. I feel like it's.
Is this
inside
why
me
you've been
today.
negative for the last couple of weeks?
Right? Yeah, we'll get into that. we will get into that. By the way,
You've been getting it in the neck.
so I know this is like starting off really nice and like, but I do have a rant. So just brace yourselves on that one there.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, introduce everyone. Wow, I feel like I've really wrecked this
You didn't
intro.
actually say our names. Hi,
No,
I'm
I
Chloe.
didn't. No. Let me
I
start.
ruined
Let me
that.
just. Right, we have David. Hello, David.
Hello. How are you doing?
Very good. Yeah. We got Chloe.
Hello there, good sir. There you go.
Hello. We have producer in the house. Hello, producer.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We're all good.
Yes.
And
And-
good morning to me.
And good morning to you,
This is
David.
morning. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's morning, isn't it? Yeah. And a big shout out to our
And he's already
Patreons, some of which are in chat at the moment.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Do you want to do the shout outs for all
Yeah,
the Patrons?
absolutely. To our number one Patreon, Joe Rodwell, who is the biggest mega supporter. Thank you so much. Of course, we have Neil Reese, we have Timo, Colin Fenley, and Trucker Marty, who is in the chat today, along with Neil and Timo. But anyway,
Whoop, whoop.
cool.
I will say Timo is technically here, but he's also playing Farming Simulator with my girlfriend in the background. Like on a podcast. That's apparently something that's happened this evening. Hi, Timo. Mate, tell her to be quiet for us.
How many people can you get on Farming Simulator?
Quite a few. Let's
right,
not alienate people straight away. This is a fucking podcast.
Okay,
Well,
Timo
we
says
can
8.
play
So
it.
if you want
No.
to be part of the farming crew,
Oh, 8.
sorry, the farming friends. Sorry, farming friends. You know, by all means.
We have just lost half of our people.
No,
but
they
if
haven't.
you do want to join us, then you can.
Yeah,
It'd be fun.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yay, friends. I don't know.
But I would nearly suggest that you become a Patreon first. Yeah.
Are you saying that they have to?
Yes.
Okay.
Again,
I am
Okay.
saying that they have
He's on
to.
So to our
PS5.
patrons, you can come and play Farming Simulator. So the rest of you who are going, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yay!
Hello, welcome. We are a trucking podcast, I swear.
Allegedly.
You can drive a truck.
Allegedly.
You can drive a truck on it.
You are
There's
not,
also a
David.
mod-
You are not
There's
selling this.
also a mod where you can drive a skip lorry.
Yes, there
How
is,
well
yeah.
do I play it?
Yeah.
I
It is
stand there and I
cross-platform.
do nothing, and I throw it. What do I tip over the tractors
I think it
and
is
I tip over the
cross-platform, yeah.
trailers. Yeah.
Oh, do
Honestly,
you?
she has crashed. So I came in from work. Was it yesterday? And she looks at me. She goes, "I've done bad things on Farming Simulator." I'm like, what have you done? And I came back, and somehow
bad things.
she'd ramped a tractor off over the back of this pit and got it stuck in this tree. She'd then tried to get another vehicle. It was chaos. It was chaos. But
It's
yeah,
a fun game when
anyways,
you don't care about it.
Yeah, which we don't. So all
We
good.
had a pickup truck on top of a farmhouse for a while. That was fun.
Yeah. Right. Shall we
you
try?
did that.
Should we move on?
Right.
Yeah, come on.
Let's try and not lose any more people. Let's talk about. Let's advertise ourselves because apparently that's what we're doing. Oh God, we're losing so
Come
many
on, then.
people.
Come
Come on, crack on with
Come
it,
on.
David. Talk about salmonslap.com. Do
Okay,
it.
if you want to go to salmonslap.com, you can get our merchandise, which helps us out tremendously. Not that we're not, if you don't, not as if we're going to be off the air or anything, because I'm still going to pay for everything. But anyway, you can always,
I'll still be
so
here
you help,
drinking.
help me out. Yeah, we have lots of merch at salmonslap.com. We
T-shirts
also,
and all sorts.
yeah, even a onesie. I even put up a onesie for people.
Baby onesie. Baby onesie.
Baby onesie. Yeah, yes, we got to clarify that.
Yeah.
Baby
We do not have an
onesies.
adult onesie. That's what I thought we did have. We do not have that.
And if you do have our merchandise, please take a picture of it with you in it, and
Even if you've already bought it.
yeah,
Even if you've already bought, just send us a picture. Would be awesome to see. Be awesome to
I
see.
think that would be cool. We would then we will definitely share that if you want us to share it. But obviously, don't send it if you don't want it to be shared. So that way, whatever.
Don't send it
We're gonna
anyways,
share
but
it.
just tell us not to share it. That'd be
Suppose,
great.
yeah.
But we still might share it.
Shall we talk about trucks now and get on with the actual trucking podcast?
No,
Can I have-
actually, no. I've got an
I
arsehole.
hate talking about
Oh,
trucks.
you've got an arsehole?
I've got an arsehole.
Ooh.
Ooh. Talk about your arsehole for a second.
Okay, so clarification. We all know what the arsehole is, yeah? This is an old thing we
Well,
used
so
to do.
there might
Let's
be some new
Might be some
people who have
listeners,
no
yeah.
idea what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's a shout out, effectively. So
Yeah.
I had, I was at work the other day, and obviously I've been on this diet, and this week I've been a bit rubbish. And I went to Greg's the other day, and I bought myself a sandwich. Got into the yard, sat waiting for the weighbridge to get on. I was like, oh, I'm really hungry. Started eating my sandwich, took the biggest bite. Along comes this lorry and sits next to me and like waves at me. I was like, oh no, I meant to know this person. I'm thinking, he's like waving. I'm thinking, oh shit. So I opened the window and he's like, hi, I love your podcast. I was like, oh. So thank you very much, Rob Demery. I hope I've said that right and not butchered it. He did message me after saying that was me and we love your podcast and sorry for catching you at the wrong time. I was like, no, I'm so sorry.
Hey, there was someone that caught me, and I had a Greg's, and I was going back to my cab, and someone collared me in a truck park, and I was like, "Oh no!" But I really want to talk to you because obviously it's great, and I really want to interact with you. But at the same time, I've got a bacon bun here, and this needs to be eaten. Like it, this is going cold. So I love you, mate, but I'm going to my cab, and I'm gonna shove this in my mouth.
So yes,
The bacon sandwich.
I felt awful, and technically I was the arsehole in the situation. But thanks for listening. It was great to meet you, allegedly.
Yeah, I'm always happy to say hello to people.
It's exciting stuff. It's good. Right, go on in. That's it. You can crack on now.
Okay, I'm allowed to go now, am I?
You may go.
Start the trucking podcast and talk about trucks and
Talk
bore
about
everybody.
fucking truck.
Well, I just want to rant, if I'm honest with you.
I like a good rant.
So my truck went off to Volvo. It had a couple of things. Came up with an error saying that the brakes were like the brake alignment was out or something like that, and the little L-shaped day running lights on them.
Yeah.
On the Volvos, one of them had gone out, and apparently has to go and have the whole bloody thing replaced.
Yeah,
it's two
like
little
whole
things.
Thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I disconnected it, ready to go down. Didn't pull the pin out, and which I'm glad about, but I'll get onto that part in a second. Anyway, so it's gone off to Volvo. Monday comes, my truck's not back, so I've had to go in to get into that truck.
Spare. Yeah.
That truck. Everyone knows it. There's always that truck in every yard. And so that's what I had to use. And they said, well, it should be done in a few days. By next Friday, it still wasn't back. But it was going to be back on the Monday. Until Monday, when it wasn't back. And then the week passed, and it still wasn't done. And basically what had happened was one of the mechanics had driven, basically, for whatever reason, I don't know why. Nesha, have you driven many Volvo Arctics? Or not?
Yes, I have. Yeah, when I was with Unitiv.
Right. Did they do this thing where the pin when it's in transit would then reset itself and go back into position rather than staying out? Well, ours do, or some of ours do that for whatever reason.
Is it not just the rattle? Maybe just locks it back in place?
I think that might be what it is. Either way, it had gone back in and it had gone to connect to the trailer and just driven into the pin. So obviously it's a mechanic. And
oh dear,
they don't always have the best finesse, do they? They're good at fixing things. They're good at fixing things. Yeah, that's right. So anyways, it damaged it. Did quite a bit of damage. We've shown one of our Patreons, Timo, who used to be a mechanic. You're a driver now, but yeah,
you know what you are.
I stand by my statements. Don't care. So, anyways, they've damaged it. It's taken 3 weeks to get it all sorted, and so I've been in this backup truck for 3 weeks. Now, my issues here was
first world problems going on here.
But this is it, and this is my point, my topic as such. The only real big differences between my truck, apart from I didn't because I didn't know it was going to be away for that long. I didn't kind of take most of my stuff out, so most of my stuff was still in the truck. Even stuff like my phone holder and stuff like that, all my little creature comforts. But realistically, apart from like the phone holder, so my truck's got what's called iShift. Which is like the little gear stick beside it, whereas
intelligent shift, I imagine.
It's a proper like it's
just an auto.
So there's buttons on the dashboard with T200, so you just got like drive, neutral, reverse, and that's all you've got.
Really?
Yeah. Or you can
is
you
that
can
like
hold
the old style or something?
Well, you can hold gears with it, and
weird.
if you want to, and on the dashboard there is a way to
Is it
kind
a
of
Volvo?
go. It's a Volvo, yeah. If you want to go down a gear, what you've got to do is, as you're going up the hill, you've got to take your foot off the accelerator, press the down button, and wait for a second. But by this point, you've lost so much speed that you now need
That
the
you may as well
gear
just sat
down
where you were.
below that. It's a nightmare. So anyways, the gearbox
Okay.
is not great on it. And there's just a couple of little things, but the fact it's not my truck. And do you guys find that when you're not... obviously, for you, Nessa, it's slightly different because you're always switching trucks, but I don't know. It's... I find if I'm not in my truck, I do start getting quite irritable. Like, it winds me up. I don't know if... does anyone else find this?
If it's not if you're used to a truck every day,
Yeah.
because a lot of drivers, they will have different lorries potentially, like say Nessa, you have different ones, don't you? You get used to it. I like my job, I will have a set lorry. We all have our own set lorries, and people don't like getting in other lorries unless it's the same one. Like, we're always got the nice FM or the FMX and stuff with the Roros, so it's really nice and luxury to drive, and then you get the silly little FEs and the FLs or whatever they are. Little Volvos, they're a bit rubbish, and they're not
baby
as fun.
Volvos.
So yeah,
the really baby ones.
When you got to switch around, it is a bit, and you got to get used to where everything is again, and
It's like you're putting someone else's shoes on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So obviously this week I've had that because I've been, well, my lorry got reversed into. I just want to state it was not my fault, as everyone seems to think. I'm just putting the blame on someone else. Someone reversed into me. All right.
Okay.
Did it actually cause that much damage?
Yeah, I had a full blown bucket reverse into me.
Well, yeah, but from the pictures that you sent,
yeah, but it wasn't.
It didn't look that bad.
It didn't look that. It was one of those that didn't look that bad, but actually behind it, it was the whole light box was like set in by like.
Oh
know,
wow! Right.
Yeah, it would.
So it did quite a lot of
indented.
damage to it.
Yeah, I mean it was a big bucket machine. They're solid.
Yeah, the
aren't they, at
shovels.
the back.
Yeah,
big shovel, and it just reversed into me on the corner. So it did a bit of damage. And obviously it was the rental, so it didn't go down too well. But obviously I've been in the rental.
It's not your fault, is it?
Yeah, I've been in. Yeah, it wasn't my fault, but obviously people on social media seem to think it is, and I'm just coming up with an excuse.
I get the same shit as well.
Yeah, so obviously I've been in the rental for a little while, and it took me a while to get used to that. And now it's kind of like I've got used to it. It's kind of my truck now for a little while. So even though it's not, and then I've jumped in a skip lorry the other day, and it was my old lorry, and it was like, oh, my old lorry, and then you notice little bits of damage that wasn't you, and you're like, oh, poor thing. And then you jump in another Roro, and it's completely different again. It's just like, oh, this is just.
Is it different? Does certain things like affect it? Like, can you tell if the air system's got dinosaurs in it or not?
Not anymore.
I don't know if everyone's going to get that joke or not.
No,
yeah,
that
not everybody.
truck did.
Do you not know? Do you not know about this, David?
With dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A son shoved little dinosaurs in through the air vents.
vents.
So when the mechanics came, they were like,
Oh, right. I'm sorry. That is an old joke.
and they're like, why are there dinosaurs in here?
Jesus
Bearing in mind,
Christ.
when she took over the lorry from me, though, she kept finding all these dinosaurs. Like, I'll go and get in someone else's lorry, and I'll get back the following day, and they'll go, "Is this little dinosaur your child's?" I was like, "Yep, that's ours."
Yeah, there's a collection. Throw it in the basket. There's a sign.
Literally, I just have a little Chloe collection. Yeah, so yeah.
Return all dinosaurs to me.
When it comes to, I'm gonna put my 10 cents in.
Well, I was wondering when you were going to do that.
I wasn't gonna interrupt. Why would I interrupt when she's in the middle of talking?
You seem very chilled. I like it. I like it tonight.
So I've been in many different trucks. Well, there's a good, I don't know, so you could borrow a new truck when nobody's living in it, or you can borrow someone else's truck. A lot of time they're on leave or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't like leaving something dirtier than I've got it. I always like to return it extra clean. You know what I mean? So I'm not a big. Sometimes I don't keep my truck the cleanest. There's dust everywhere because there's a gravel parking lot. It's impossible to keep. Well, it isn't impossible. I can clean it out every day, but I don't want to do that. All right?
You keep it to a good standard,
but if I'm borrowing someone else's truck, okay, now I gotta really worry about it. And all right, now the shoes have to come off right here. And if I want to go into the back, before I used to just walk back there because I had a carpet installed. Like an actual proper carpet that I cut up and I shaped it out and everything. You know what I mean? So when if I ever want to clean the back, I can just rip that out and shake it up and put it back in again. You know what I mean? But when I was borrowing someone's truck, I always had to take my shoes off in the very front, right by the pedals. And of course, then I'm sleeping in their truck. It is a nuisance. It is a nuisance, you know. Now I got to take their bedding off and put my bedding in, or at least, you know. But anyway, it's just it is a nuisance. But but sometimes it's kind of nice to see the inside of someone else's truck, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
I've never been asked.
Sometimes it might drive better.
I've never been asked to actually tramp in a vehicle that someone else has been living in. I've
you gotta be okay with it. You know,
no,
obviously they're going to be
always
asked.
been cleaned out properly. I don't know if anyone.
No, but surely if you're an agency, you go in them, don't you? No.
What?
If you're an agency driver, you've got to cover. Some stay out, don't
agency
they? Yeah.
driver? Sorry,
like
what's
a
an agency driver?
Sick cover driver. So if someone doesn't turn up, you call someone up.
I suppose that's what I am.
I don't know.
Honestly, if somebody,
really know.
I told him if anybody calls in sick, hey, just give me a call. I'm not doing anything. I'm at home.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense.
I don't know any agency drivers that actually tramp.
What, stay out?
Do they actually stay out or not?
I don't know anyone do.
Is that something?
No.
Because, and again, the same thing as with James Booth, you don't. Sometimes you'll go into someone else's truck, but you'd never be asked to sleep in that person's truck because I don't know. It's just you sleep in your own truck,
though, don't they?
Some companies only hire agency drivers; they don't have their own.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My local Lidl distribution centre, it's only a few miles away. They only hire agency.
Wow. That's wild. They don't have any of their own any of their own drivers.
But then surely they're better off because if someone doesn't turn up, then they just phone the agency and they'll send out another driver, won't they? So they're never gonna struggle, and then they don't have their own employers, whatever it is.
They don't have their own trucks either. They use hire trucks. Romac, I think it is.
Yeah.
There's actually, come to think of it, I wouldn't say this isn't for truck driving now, but does this happen a lot in England where a company will only hire, I suppose, an agency to get employees, and eventually when they do good enough, they'll actually hire them on full time?
Certain companies did, yeah. Yeah, so when I first started at EMS, they only would go through an agency. So I actually came through the agency originally, even though it was in the office. They would only go through this agency to get new drivers. Since then, they're quite flexible now and realise there's cheaper ways to do it. But yeah, because you end up paying the agency like a lot of money, don't you, for the transfer over, for them finding you as well.
Yeah.
So, but there is quite a few
the
companies
agency
that
is
will
what
only
pays
go
them.
through.
You pay the company pays the agency. That way the company doesn't have to worry about employee taxes and everything. It's just basically you're just paying for a service.
Wait, so right on agencies, if you then become full time at that company, the company then has to pay the agency.
They've got to pay they've got to pay. I think they had to do it with me.
Yeah, but how did they know?
Well, because they get the job through them. There's a contract,
right? But if that boss said, "Listen, I'll give you like 50 quid, just come in on Monday, don't tell the agency," there you are. I don't know. Just
I don't think you can get away with that, because I think when you sign up to an agency, you sign up for a contract to say you wouldn't do that as well. I think
Trucker Marty has something to say too. He's currently an agency driver. Usually there is a contract between the employer and the agency. There is like a 12-week minimum term. That's interesting.
Okay, so Trucker Marty, have you ever been asked, as you're currently agency, have you been ever asked to sleep in a truck in the UK?
No pressure to type really quickly, because hopefully
so okay, well, all here waiting for this.
The agency I'm with, there's a minimum term of 20 weeks. So if I wanted to work full time for Clark's, because I've been there longer than 20 weeks, I would only have to be off the agency for a week, and then I could work for Clark full time then without any fee being paid.
Okay.
So I would just have to leave the agency for a week, and then they wouldn't have to pay a transfer fee.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but then you would be a week's without pay, wouldn't it?
No, I could still go and work for Clark, because it's a week in hand, and you have to work so long before you actually get your first pay.
All right. Okay.
Now we have a reply from Trucker
That
Marty.
seems cheating.
Currently not, but only done it for a couple of months so far on agency. Anyway, so there we go.
Yeah, I don't know. What have you not when you're going away and like you're sleeping out in the truck, David? Have you not had it where you've got in and you just like this is fucking disgusting. I'm not sleeping in.
Oh, I've refused to like. I was asked to take a truck up north to the main terminal, and I got in there. I'm like, nope. Hell no.
Nope.
Why was
I
it?
will not. I would not be able. Okay, obviously you weren't going to be. Like, I wasn't going to be sleeping in it.
Yeah.
Mainly because they would just put you up in a hotel. But this will linger on my skin and my body. The smell was just terrible.
Oh,
There was
no.
dog hair everywhere. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Because I am a yes guy. I will say yes to anything. All right, because I know
Yeah.
it'll come back in return, and that's But I'm not doing that, dude. Sorry, because it's just some people just treat their trucks the worst. The worst thing about my trucks was there was dust on the ground everywhere.
Yeah.
And other than that, it was an organized mess. You know what I mean? I knew where everything was.
You know the mess. It's fine.
But there's some
Yeah, but
trucks
it's
though.
clean. It's not.
Oh,
Well, it must be a lot
some
harder
trucks
to
are
clean
beautiful.
them trucks, the American ones, because at least here
because
you've only
there's
got
more?
a small space. Yeah, you've got a huge
Yeah.
space. It must be like 3 or 4 times the size, really, like floor space. Well, a lot
like a little
more.
Yeah. apartment, isn't it?
A lot. It's not bad. It depends on what you. Again, we have more space too for cupboards and for garbage bin and
Storage and
all of
everything,
that
yeah.
stuff. You know what I mean? So a lot of the clutter could be stored away. And stuff in the cupboard and then closed really quickly. So just fall out.
I've seen
Do you
one.
do that thing where you're tidying up and you'll get all these random things that you don't know where they belong, so you just put them in a bag and hide them in the cupboard? That would
Yeah,
be my
I have
American
many of those
truck.
bags. I have many of those bags. Yes.
Don't go in that cupboard. That's the weird one.
I've got a cupboard like that. I've got one. I've got one of my cupboards which is just full of bags because I keep
Yep, got one of
bringing
them.
I keep bringing food in and I'll
Yeah.
bring it in my bag and
you'll
then
mean
I'll
to take
forget
it back
to
to
take
the
the
shop,
bag
but
home.
forget, yeah, and then you get more.
So
all
I've
the
now
time.
got one and it's just rammed full of just bags. Don't know what to do
You
with
think
it.
how much that cupboard's worth as well?
Well, because of the
20p a
bags.
bag. Yeah, 20p a bag. It still adds up.
Oh, yeah.
20p a bag in England.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Jesus.
legally cannot have a bag for free.
Well, that's fine, but can you charge less than 20 cents?
No.
Not that it's going to break the bank or anything.
No.
You know,
There's like as a minimum that they have to charge
That
you.
is your penalty. If you don't turn up with a
Yeah.
bag, you pay.
Yeah, I forget. Half time when I go to the grocery store, I don't plan on going to the grocery store, and I end up having to pay. I know I should keep them inside in the trunk of the car or whatever. Sorry, the boot.
Yeah, everyone says that, but you never
God,
do.
I'm such an American. But yeah.
Ness has just said that there are tramping jobs on Indeed through agency, that's crazy to me. Unless it's cleaned out and it's actually just because I don't know, you're sleeping on someone's bed.
Yeah, it's a bit gross, isn't it?
You just got to get over it, but you just got to try not to imagine the past of what happened on this bed prior to you getting in here.
Oh,
And how many
David.
times they did that?
Yeah,
Just try not to.
That is something I have thought. just to explain what they were saying there. And if you are a
Do you
tramper,
need to explain?
think about
Yeah, I
how many
don't think
people
so.
have had a wank on that bed. I'll say it because I've sat
You
there
didn't
and
have
I've
to say
thought
it.
it. I have sat there and thought, yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm so glad I have a day cab, especially in my rental. Oh no!
I tell you
Go
what,
from London
that might
as
not
well.
entirely stop of that from happening.
Oh no!
You never know with
no.
people. You
All
never
right.
know.
All right,
Chloe.
let's move on. You've ruined
Chloe
it. Yes,
wants
hello.
to talk about a certain actor.
I do.
What actor would you like to talk about, Chloe?
I'm in love with Pedro Pascal at the moment. He's amazing. And if you don't know
Why
who
is he so amazing?
have you guys watched the film yet that I've told you to watch?
No.
What can you tell us what movie this is that you asked us to watch?
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I have watched it.
Yes, you
I
have!
want to watch it. I want to watch
David,
it.
what did you think? Don't you dare say no. No.
Really?
It was honestly, it was fine. There were some very funny parts.
There was some good parts.
There were some funny parts. I have turned into the person I hate. I really hate myself because I judge movies now. I used just
It was so
enjoy them.
good.
I don't know what is wrong with me. Maybe because I don't know. I have no idea. There was definitely some fun parts. Like I was really curious about these memes. Those memes.
Yeah,
the
that's why I
the
was
one
so
where he's
curious
looking
as
at
the
each.
memes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
so good.
you know, and I
So
find out
good.
why he was. For a long time, I actually searched that. I'm like, okay, you know, like because I obviously I knew who was in the meme, so I searched Pablo Pascal. And like, what movie is
Pedro
this?
Pascal.
What did I say?
Pablo
Pedro Pascal.
Pablo
Pablo
Pascal. Pedro Pascal.
Pablo. Is it
Are you
Pedro
actually having
Pascal?
have you got this written down just so you don't get it wrong?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I know his name because he's
Okay.
everywhere at the moment. Because I
He
watched
is, yeah.
Mandalorian, The Last
You know,
of Us. He's
Eventually, I
everywhere.
did find it.
Was he
I
in
found it
Game of
eventually.
Thrones?
Yes.
Yes,
He was. All right, he was in Game of Thrones.
I feel like his best part was in Game of Thrones, and the last time we see him, he gets his head crushed in by the
I've never seen
mountain.
Game of Thrones.
Oh my god! Seriously,
remember.
that scene. By the way, I'm gonna care. All right, half the people have watched Game of Thrones, but the last time we ever see Pedro Pascal, he was basically fighting a guy called a Mountain. In his real life is called
Oh yeah,
Thor.
no way. I
He's
do remember this scene, and this was
you know what I mean?
absolutely
And
hideous.
I have never looked so forward to anything in my life. It was like, honest. This I don't know why. It was like a WrestleMania, and you're a huge wrestling fan. All right, and it was the main event. They waited till the very last part of the episode and everything, and they fought, and he was kicking ass. He was like because
He
the
is
Mountain
pretty
is huge.
kick-ass.
He's the guy he was fighting is a giant, absolute. He's
Yeah.
literally one of the biggest people in the world. All right.
Yes, sir. It just said 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is that for the film? Sorry, I'm just butting in David because I love the film and fuck you.
Because what?
Wait, you
Yeah,
said
yeah,
it's
God
87 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's good for
What
that.
does it have in everybody else?
Well, I don't know. Just...
Are you just looking at the one that gave it the best?
No, it's
Rotten
Rotten
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Overall.
Is that the best? But you
Well,
know how
it's-
Rotten
it's-
Tomatoes works, don't
It's,
you?
it's aggregates, isn't it? It works
Was
it
it
out
aggregate?
based on basically it works it out on lots of other reviews.
It's not a tipper.
No, aggregate scores basically.
Right, okay.
On
it just-
Game of Thrones, but just very quickly, just to kind of say, when Joffrey died, very happy about.
Oh my
that.
god, I've never been so happy to see anybody die ever.
I never thought I'd be like happy to see a child die. Was very happy
Right?
to see that. Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
that show makes you think about how you how your feelings and like I didn't realize I could actually be so happy to see somebody die so painfully.
What we've learned here is some children should die.
Some children should die. But back to Pedro. back to Pedro.
Wow!
So Pedro's
If
youth
this is
right
clipped
now.
and taken out of context, this is not going to look good for me.
This is a short that
Sorry,
is
boss.
completely taken out of context.
now. So Pedro Pascal, correct? Did I
Yes.
say it right?
You
All
said
right.
it
So he
perfectly,
has obviously. I feel like he made his big debut. That's what it's like. When he became
Where's
famous
he
was
from?
in Game of Thrones.
If you
He's
actually
probably-
look into him, though, he's Chilean-American actor. So I have now got him up on my screen.
Okay.
But yeah, if you actually look what he's been in quite a lot of stuff, actually. So obviously he's in The Mandalorian at the moment. Have you guys watched that?
I have watched that. It's funny that I didn't
Absolutely.
know it was him for a long time because you don't ever get to see his face.
Yeah, you don't get to see him until one episode, do you? And then also,
Yeah.
Tom, you're like this. He's in The Kingsman, The Golden Circle. You were talking about that the other week.
Is he?
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh my god, he is! He's one of the good guys, isn't he?
Apparently he's
He's one
in
of the
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh,
Amazing.
like the
Really?
TV show?
Yeah,
One with
for, like,
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Oh right, so he's been knocking about Hollywood for a while then.
yeah, he's been about, but
Oh,
he's
he
just
he is an
suddenly-
A-lister right now. He is.
Oh,
he can
yeah,
get
solid
whatever he
A-list.
wants.
Yeah,
Um,
he's worked for it, hasn't he?
Yeah, but when you actually right, so have you've not answered me? Have you watched The Last of Us yet? The series.
No, but you can't. Don't talk about
That's
it because
right.
I've not had a chance to.
Right.
The thing is, so
You
how
have to
are you
watch it.
watching it?
It's on
What?
Now TV. I'm watching it on, so it's
Oh,
Sky,
right.
isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't.
I'll send
I
you
think
my
I'm
link.
watching it on HBO.
All right, you have to watch it.
yeah.
I will send you the link so you can watch it. Because so you guys know I don't like zombies, right? But this is kind of zombies, but they're fungus zombies. So I can deal with it just about.
They're still zombies.
Yeah, but they're not quite. They're a little bit different.
No, they're exactly
No,
what it
they
is.
are definitely zombies.
There is no... You can't just add a word to it and say, like, well, they're not zombies.
You just look away when they're running at you.
Right.
It's
What?
fine.
Okay, wait. Right.
So I can deal
So,
with
so
it a
what
bit
is?
better.
What's your issue with zombies?
I just don't like them. They just run.
Why?
At me, and I don't.
Because
like
they
it.
chase you.
They'll chase
Is
you.
it kind of like
Right.
how your
So-
son
I
doesn't
don't
like
like
brown?
things running at me.
Brown?
Right. Okay.
Brown,
So
colour
do
brown?
these fungus zombies? Do they run at people?
Yes. And I don't
Right.
like that bit.
Do they
so
chase
I look
you?
away at that bit. Yes, they do, and it's horrible.
But wait,
That
you,
bit
you
you
look
don't
away
watch.
at that bit, but that must be most of it because it's a zombie TV show.
But it's
You
not,
can't
it's,
have a zombie TV
alright,
show without
it's
people,
kind
without
of like
fucking
The Walking
zombies.
Dead, but without zombies. All right, it's kind of if you like The Walking Dead, you're gonna love The Last of Us.
It's funny how The Walking Dead, like
But
how
they are
we're
bloody
such
good
big
actors,
fans
alright?
of zombies shows. You know,
I've not played the
this
game,
really
Neil.
is the next Walking Dead.
Too scary.
You know, without the annoying fucking dude, the main dude. What's his name? The English bloke who plays an American.
Oh my word! Do
What?
not let my missus hear you say that. She absolutely loves Rick Grimes.
Oh, he's such
Loves
a
him.
fucking annoying. So annoying.
Which one's that? Is that the main guy?
Yeah,
I'm gonna Google him.
It's the
Rick
sheriff.
Grimes.
I can't remember what his actual name is.
Oh, he was in
Love Actually.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's
He's
been
been in Love Actually, and he's been Rick Grimes, and that is it. He got
That
to kiss.
was
He got to
me.
kiss Keira Knightley for a couple of seconds. So
Yes, he was
Lucky man.
that guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's been in other stuff,
yeah.
though, surely.
So Pedro Pascal is your topic. Anything else you want to bring up about Pedro
I just
Pascal?
wanted to rate how amazing an actor he is. Yeah.
Are you getting
That's
paid
I
for
just
so.
that?
Wait, you don't
guys
even
to-
have a story about this. You just basically your topic is just him.
He's a cool guy. I mean, the series he's very cool.
What if you met him?
I do want to watch that.
If you walk past him on the street, what would you do?
I think
think he
Would you
Just
respect
sound.
his privacy and his want to just to walk the streets without being
he
disturbed?
comes
Would you respect that?
across as very genuine, doesn't he? He comes across
Yeah,
as very
he
real.
He reminds me like a bit of a Keanu Reeves kind of character, just really sound and just awesome.
Do you want to see the real Pedro Pascal? Then you need to watch him on Hot Ones.
On what?
All right. Have you ever seen Hot Ones?
I love Hot Ones.
Hot Ones is a show on YouTube. Basically, famous people come to get interviewed while eating hot wings.
Do you remember when like
Have you
when,
not? Seriously, you haven't heard about
this
this?
program? I've seen clips. I think. Now I
Yeah,
know what
Okay,
it's
they're
about.
basically
yeah.
the
Pedro
hotter
Pa-
and hot wings until it gets like. But the thing was, do you remember when? Because how long have you been watching it for?
Me?
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
hot
that.
ones. Like, have you
I
been
don't
watching
know.
it since? Well, since because when they started, they used to just be doing like YouTubers, and that's like it was just other YouTubers that came on, and then suddenly they started getting like movie stars on. I'm like, what?
They had
is
DJ
happening?
Khaled. And I think on the
Exactly.
first season, they had DJ Khaled. And he was the biggest pussy ever. He lasted. Now, you get 10 wings. Just to clarify for people who don't know, okay? It's called Hot Ones. It's quite popular. They have A-listers come on this show now, okay? Now, but you know, so again, people who don't know who, I've forgotten who we're talking about. DJ Khaled.
Oh,
All right.
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled. All right. So he, so you have 10. You have 10 wings. They start off very mild. The first one's usually tastes fantastic. Second one's fine, and it gets a little hotter, and then it gets
hotter.
stupidly ridiculous.
I
All right.
think
then number
'cause season
7.
one was the bomb, wasn't it? At that point,
The bomb is on every season.
yeah.
All right.
And I think it was that
It's
was that was like is it the last dip?
So
No.
you got the last dab, which
The
is the
last
10th
dab,
one,
sorry, yeah.
which is not the worst. Okay, number 8 is the worst, which is the bomb. All right, the bomb beyond insanity is what it's called. And then you got another one after that, and then you got the last dab. But whatever, it
I'd
doesn't
be up
matter.
for that.
But it's stupidly spicy. I've done the challenge myself. I've been interviewed
Have you
by
actually?
him. Oh yeah, you know,
How
I'm
was
kidding. I
it,
haven't been
did you?
interviewed. I'm not that famous. But
We'll
DJ
interview
Khaled
you, we'll do
lasted
it.
to wing number 3.
3.
Wing number 3. He, basically he just
Out of 10?
made a fool of himself, and he even said to us, like, "Hey, I did. Just because I made it to wing 3 doesn't mean I failed." Well, actually, that is the
Oh,
definition
yeah,
of
no,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
yeah,
that's
and
definitely
because
failure.
DJ Khaled is all about self promotion, and like,
Yeah.
oh, me and my wife, we love him so much. We love to hate him. Because he just the stuff that he says is just like, does he even realize what he's saying? Does he realize that people mock him? Because of the stuff that he does,
Yeah.
and obviously he's put out some great music. When it comes to other, well, mainly it's the people he brings into the songs are great. Like the whatever he brings in, Justin, what's that kid's
Bieber?
name? Justin
Justin
Bieber. I
Bieber?
was going to say Justin Timberlake, and a bunch of other rappers and all that kind of stuff. But whatever. Again, yeah, it was so embarrassing. The whole show was embarrassing because he didn't realize, he didn't take it seriously. He didn't know that show was that popular. I think he would have tried a little harder. Like he should at least have had people. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, I rambled on. But yes, Pedro Pascal was on that, and he was very funny. He was
was he? I'll
awesome.
have to
He was
find him
brilliant. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was literally very, very, very funny. You know,
Anything I've
And,
seen, like, because obviously he's, like I said, he's everywhere at the moment. So like shorts, everything you see him, and you're like, oh fucking hell, he's a sound guy, or like people met him, and he's just cool. So yeah, I just wanted to state that.
It does. It seems very genuinely down to earth, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think I think he'd be the sort of person that I think if you met him at like a bar or something, you could probably have
So
a few
who would
drinks
you want
with
to
him.
meet then? That's famous. Go on, we'll turn it into a topic.
Patrick Stewart.
Who would you want to meet?
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
why?
Because Patrick Stewart's fucking amazing. Don't you? How
Okay.
dare you, sir? How dare you? That was my
I
choice.
am daring. But seriously, why? I know him from one thing only, that dancing. Movie.
So
Both, Neil, alive and dead. Whoever you want.
I don't want Patrick Stewart. But so I'll be honest with you. Like Star Trek, it sounds like such a sob story in a way, but it's not meant to be. But like my dad died when I was very, very young, and I didn't. I had like a very kind of female orientated like upbringing, and like so it was just my mum and my nan and my aunts, and that was my. So I never really had like a male role model, but Patrick Stewart was that guy. Like he was. Yeah, I don't know. It was like my TV dad almost. And I don't know. Just I kind of
Interesting.
I feel genuinely. I was talking to Miss about this the other day, and I genuinely think some of the life lessons I've learned, I actually learned from Star Trek and from watching him. So there you go.
Okay, he was in. Okay, he was in Ghost.
That's taken you back, hasn't it? You have no response to that. You were going to come at me with like a variety of different things. Nope, fuck off.
Take the piss out of that. That's quite cute.
Come at me, son.
Interesting. No, okay. Obviously, I'm not going to like comment on your life and the fact that he is your dad.
Well,
Okay.
No. TV dad. There is a definite difference.
Okay.
All right.
Some
Okay,
people,
I'm
some people said like,
Did
for
you have
them,
mates come round and go, "That's my dad"?
no,
TV?
no, like some people said like, cause it is if you search it like, who's your TV dad? That kind of like that male role model
male
on TV.
influence,
A
yeah.
lot of people said Grissom from CSI. Like
Which one's he?
on
which
the
one's he?
original CSI, I can't think of what his name. I've got Grissom. I can't really think of how to describe him. So a lot of people said him, and like there's like I don't know, like a strong male, like
Strong
is
male
no one going to
lead.
back
Someone
me up
you
on this here?
respect, and basically, if they ever give advice, oh,
Yeah, and you were
Okay.
like, yeah,
Nice.
I buy that. I buy that.
Mufasa. There you go.
Yeah, see, that works.
who's that? Who's Mufasa?
Lion King, Mufasa.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Come on, you must have had a
Well, they
TV dad.
said.
I don't know.
Nessa, please, can you bail me out here? Because you're just sat there, and I'm like, I'm sweating here. I feel like everyone thinks I'm a fucking maniac for saying this.
Well,
We weren't in
I
your
can kind of
situation,
relate,
though.
yeah, because Steve Harvey, I kind of relate to him a lot.
Right. Thank God, Nessa's bailed me out here.
I get what you mean.
I wish I knew. I obviously you couldn't have predicted this topic, but I was like, I wish I had some time to think about it.
Think about it while Chloe tells us about
Yeah,
it.
that-
Apparently, Chuck,
I listen to it at the same time.
Marley says,
I can only do
are
one
you
thing at a
thinking
time.
of Patrick
I'm not a woman.
Swayze?
Woohoo!
See, that was a compliment.
Yeah,
You know, usually I go the other
For
way.
once.
Backhanded
Yeah, for once, yeah.
compliment. Yeah,
It
very
wasn't a backhanded compliment.
Hashtag-
Yeah,
That's
all
right.
right.
You guys can multitask. I can't.
Oh God,
can't. I'm
I
terrible.
can barely even single task at this point. I feel
I forget everything.
there
yeah,
must have
apparently-
been a TV show where like you had someone where, yeah, you kind of like what was
Barney
it?
Stinson.
Barney Stinson. Where's that?
That's
Barney
off
Stinson.
How I Met Your Mother, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I want to be just like him. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but that
By
was
the way,
like when you were.
I think about him because actually his TV dad was Bob Barker. He kept saying that Bob Barker was his dad. You know Bob
Oh
Barker?
right.
Okay.
No, sure. It's not as I'm not as much of a lunatic as I felt just a few seconds ago
Well,
for saying
he
this.
said it was his dad because he asked his mom one time when he was younger, as in like,
Oh,
"Who's my
that's
dad?"
not helping
And
me
she
at all.
and she pointed at the TV. That guy. She didn't have a clue what was on the TV. She just went like that guy, and it happened to be Bob Barker, and The Price is Right. So for his entire life, he just basically thought that Bob Barker was his dad. I've seen that show way too many
Yeah,
times.
you have. Yeah.
I could
They
never
tried to
get
do
into
a
it.
How I Met Your Mother, How I Met Your Father one, haven't
Father,
they? On
yeah,
Disney.
yeah, they did.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed it.
What's that
Hilary
Duffy
Duff.
girl?
Work with it.
Whatever her name is, Hilary Duff. Yeah,
Hilary
Duff
Duff.
girl. Yeah.
Tough girl.
Anywho, I want to talk about the end of the world. AI,
it's getting
when they take
sinister now.
over and blah, blah, blah. You know, okay.
Dave,
okay,
we're going to be losing our jobs to AI soon, are we not?
I doubt it. I doubt it. To be honest with you, we'll lose a little bit. Honestly, God, I do believe we're going to lose a little bit. The simple work that is brainless, like especially in America where you're driving straight for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, I think that could easily get
Straight to a
taken over by.
depot and, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and where they don't have, as long as they don't have to do any backing up, because I don't think robots can back up. I really
But then
don't.
surely they don't need they don't have to have brakes, do they? So they'll just
Well, they don't need to have
straight
brakes,
run.
so they can go nice and slow and everything. You know what I mean? But
if they got fuel.
yeah, there's just
How are they gonna
so
fuel up?
much.
That's
Now,
a very
there's this
good
company-
point. Oh, because it might be electric. But then how are they
Yeah,
going to get
well,
into it?
Well, a lot of times they're battery powered. Yeah, there's definitely
Yeah.
there's hostling trucks are these small little white trucks that can basically lift up the trailer and with hydraulic lift and all that kind of stuff. And they so anyway, somebody reached out to me. He's a professor in this university in Pennsylvania, right? And he came across my videos, and he said he asked me,
random.
as in like, hey, we're basically kind of a robotics he's trying to teach people teach how a robot could actually back up. Again, and he's not actually trying to teach a robot to do it manually. It's more like to tell the driver what to do to back up.
Right.
So you have a real person in there, but you got cameras everywhere on it and sensors and all that kind of stuff. And he was kind of like, how do you back up? You know, like if you had to teach a robot how to back up, how do you do it? All right, because like I would consider, okay, our brains are supercomputers. All right, we can think about so many things at once. All right, while a computer it can do the same thing, but it doesn't know how to prioritize it. I believe. Again, I don't know code. I don't know anything. I just know what kind of technology exists. And like, so you have LiDAR.
Surely.
Now, a lot of iPhones have LiDAR where you basically can point the phone at something and it can tell how far away something is, and it can create a map in
Measurements
3D.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, like there was this one company that does have trucks that can back up trailers, but I went to the website and I checked out every possible video by them, and they never showed it from start to finish. They only ever showed the last 20 feet where it was going in a straight line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if you,
How
I
did
would
you
be
get
all,
there?
and like, so they'd show like a 53-foot trailer, then a 48, then a 35, then a 28-foot trailer, all different size trailers they can do. But you never really showed it, did you? Like,
Surely
you could have had
you'd
somebody
need
get out of the truck
sensors.
and just hide behind it while it, you know what I mean? It's like, but anyway, it was just because there's so much involved in backing up.
Well, the first piece of advice I give is, in a way, you need to kind of get rid of the fact that you're backing up. It has nothing to do with like you're not. Yes, you're reversing, but what you're actually doing is pushing a trailer, not pulling it, but you're just pushing a trailer. And when you kind of get your head around the fact that you are pushing a trailer, I find it like when I kind of got my head around that, it started becoming easier. It stopped becoming this wild.
You were
beast.
able to predict what's going on.
Yeah.
Basically, all you have when you're backing up, you have to look into the future.
Yeah.
You
All right?
get used to how it moves, don't you? And you can see
Yeah.
where
So-
you're certain looking. You know that's the
But-
good place for your pivot.
But the thing is, though, and I would say, especially for what you do as well, because do you not find like it's not they don't just turn the wheels, but they skid, and it's
Yeah.
about and it's just about because you can't just push it, but you've got to kind of predict how the wheels are going to skid on certain parts, and if it's
it all depends on the angle.
gravelly. Yeah.
Okay, this is what the first thing that this is what I believe. This is I'm writing out like a thesis. What's this? Thesis. I feel like I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know thesis. I can never do the whole th words, but in a way of like how I would tell a robot. All right. The first thing I think that anybody who backs up is how much space you have in front of your space. What is the area of maneuverability that the truck and trailer can do? I think that's the first thing, because that will decide when you would do your initial turn to set up. Would you, Tom? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Or would you? Or you could even go before that again. What is the length of your truck and what is the length of your trailer? Okay, that would probably be before that again. You know.
Well, the first thing, it's knowing the space, but it's also it's setting the vehicle up right and knowing exactly kind of where to be.
But in order to do that, first of all, it needs to analyze the area that it has to maneuver. Like if you only have 40 feet in front of the space, well, you're going to be setting up a lot differently if you had 100 feet.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
All right, so that's the first thing you do. Like that's an instant. You don't even
they're going to be done on like satellite and that though, so they're going to know where they are surely and have sensors.
Oh, maybe what if they're not?
They'll have to have sensors on each corner and then.
Okay,
know
so
how
yes, so there'll be. I would
positioned they
imagine
are.
there would on both mirrors there would be a sensor. All right.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, would you have sensors on the truck? Oh, sorry, on the trailer.
You'd have to surely.
But here's the thing: all containers and all that kind of stuff, they don't have sensors. You can't just have. Containers don't even have lights on the under.
But you would on the skeleton body, wouldn't you?
They're on the bottom on the chassis. Well, like so, it's just you can't have the technology just sitting around nowhere for 6 months of the year and then all of a sudden get picked up. You know what I mean? So I just feel like all the work has to be done from the actual the technology on the truck.
Is it not done on like the kinetic? So you got like the kinetic sensor you have with your Xbox and things like that. So that picks up on movement.
That's basically LiDAR.
So it will work out.
Yes, it would have
the
that.
movement of it.
You know,
and it would just be able to predict it.
So yeah, I believe that it can do it, but but how do you teach a robot to look for these things? You know what I mean? This is basically what he's asked me to do.
It's not just looking, but it's also adapt. Because think about how many times that you've gone to park somewhere, and then as you've gone, and you suddenly looked down, you've realised, oh shit, there's a small van that's parked down between them two there. I now have to decide, I'm going to go over to this one here, or you kind of get there, and then the person who's gone in, the trailer's on the piss, and you kind of having to try and the thing is, so the LiDAR, if you've got LiDAR on it, will be on the rear of the truck.
Yeah.
And it's got to because some of what we do is just it's intuitive. You kind of basically the amount of times that I'm going in place, I just think I am basically just using the Force at this point. I am currently Luke Skywalker. I'm just using the Force. Yeah, and that's all I'm doing. Like because it's just you just in a way just
and that's
guessing.
The thing as well. Sometimes it doesn't always go how you predict it. Like you're maybe a little bit of a camber of the road or something might offset it a little bit to what you're expecting, and you'll start reversing. You go, well, this doesn't line up, and you have to readjust. So it doesn't always do what you're expecting at all. So that's the other thing. You'd have to.
Well, it does. Sorry, Chloe. It on a flat ground, it does.
Maybe it's our crappy trailer we used to have then, because since we've had the new one, it's really good. We had an old one that it was the wagon drag, and it wouldn't reverse how you wanted it to. No matter what you did.
Well, a wagon drag is different than regular trailers, is the thing.
Yeah, but you still get used to them, don't you?
Where it's connected. You do. You get used to it. But, again, trying to teach a robot is again, this what they need to take into consideration. Like, what angle. Like, first of all, as long as you give it the ifs, meaning as in, like, in the code. Again, this is just more like, I know what an if is. If your trailer is pointing towards the space, but the trailer is at a 45-degree angle, well, it's not going to go in, because of the whole swing. Now, of course, if there is no trailer on the far side, then you can do that. You know what I mean?
Can you not just tell it to reverse without hitting anything and see how it gets on? I mean, it's going to figure it out for itself, isn't it? If it reverses and goes, I'm going to hit that, I'll have to readjust. They've got a certain degree of intelligence in there that they all go, okay.
No, they don't. They have to be told what to do.
They're not just going to keep driving
We're
back
giving
and forward,
them steps.
are they?
Yeah, but the thing is though, because with the lidar, because what it's doing is, say for instance, as you're coming in, and so like if you're parking in a row of trucks, what you'll do is you're going to have a look down the line, and basically, so the first thing you do is make it easy for yourself. Get in a
Yeah.
position where you can make it as easy to
Line
get
it up,
into that spot
yeah.
as you can do. Then you want to have a look down the line and see where am I going to get it in. Is this truck get off to the piss, or is the wing mirrors, is it going to be too tight for me? Can I do that there? But once you're then forwards, everything that you're doing, everything towards the back of the trailer, you're doing just off memory. You're doing it off memory. You're just working out what you can do, and it's only when you kind of basically 75% through the maneuver that you can see again. And
Now, the thing about the memory of a computer is photographic. All right, their memory is spot on, while yours is like, wait, how wide is that? Now, they can drive past a space. All right, well, that's exactly 12 feet, 2 inches, whatever. They can and they can tell the exact distance because they're looking. They have that lidar and all that kind of stuff that can tell the distance and all that.
Okay,
Maybe.
so how about this?
No.
How about you've just seen the curtains twitching on the thing, and you've seen so you've seen the curtains twitching on the trailer on the cab next to you. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean that the driver's got out? Because how is some computer with lidar going to know that? The reality is it cannot see and it can't hear. So unless someone yells and says, "Oh, I'm down here," how does it know? So it'll not just need to. No, but genuinely,
I'm just giggling.
But I've been down the side of a truck and had to yell. How's the computer supposed to know that yelling is meant to be for that?
Stop the fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah. How's that computer? It would actually have to have, because otherwise, if someone's down there, they're getting crushed.
You just don't have reverse parking. You just set up electric parking where it's straight in, straight out. Done.
I think it would also have to be able to understand voices and be able to understand. No, genuinely though, because reality is
works. You don't have to worry about it.
Well, yeah, but that's not going to be practical in the real world. In the real world, they have to do this.
In America, it'll work.
I posted a video up on the thing where basically it was saying about Tesla and the fact that these AI cars are a lot further off than they're actually making out. There's the adaptive.
Have you ever been in
cruise
one?
control. No, it's supposed to be really cool. It's supposed to be really cool.
I have been in a Tesla, and with the autopilot turned on from the house to I can't remember where it was. I can't remember where it was a store. All right, and it went all the way. Like some of it was crazy scary. He was like, no, that's good. It's good. Watch this. And then, like,
I think
you know what I mean. And it has a screen in front of you. It says exactly what is in front of you. It has that lidar going on, even if it's called lidar.
But it would need that all over the trailers, though. You'd need that on the rear.
So hear me out for a second, now, you guys. I want you to just hear me out. All right, before obviously, Chloe.
Yeah. Go on.
It can't just do what you say. Hey, just back it in there. Whoa, problem solved. Okay, that's just not. All right, so just please hear me out. All right, there has to be steps. All right, now because it has memory and it has fantastic memory, it knows the exact angle of the truck. It knows the truck and trailer. It knows the distance. All right, and it's always your goal is to have it to where it does the minimum amount of steering, because it's much easier to predict where the trailer is going to end up. The less angle that you have. All right. So telling it that too, because there is a huge difference, obviously. There's too many variables. I wouldn't say there's too many. There is variables, and it can handle all the variables. Is there even any vehicles next to the space? All right. If not, then it's brilliant. Of course, it has to look out for lines and understand what a line is. All right. Maybe there'll be certain places where it won't be allowed. But anyway, will there be a trailer next to it? On which side? If there is movement, all right, maybe like somebody walking next to it. I'm sure, and if it's nighttime, it'll have the nighttime sensors. Again, they're actually, because it is LiDAR, it doesn't even have to have, it doesn't matter if it's daytime or not. It's all about sending a laser towards the object and having, when it returns, it will actually tell us the distance. So I don't think there would be a problem with it where if somebody is next to that trailer, it will acknowledge it, and maybe there will be a sensor. Please keep away from the truck. I don't know, something. All right.
So what if it has a map out like one of those automatic Hoovers, or it follows a line like one of those you get the little things that follow a line, you draw a pen.
Yeah, we're talking about like robots replacing drivers.
Can I? Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know what will happen?
But that means involving that means putting out. Are you talking like? Okay, yes.
You know, like the little smart Hoovers that you put.
I know.
In your house,
I have.
they
I have
map out
one.
the
I have
land.
one.
Yeah, they map
You know,
out the land.
it maps it out, but it maps it out for that area only.
Yeah,
But it doesn't map it. It doesn't really map it out till it's already done it.
Well, Google or someone or Tesla would have to go around every single car park and map out everything.
You know what?
So
You know what will happen. You know what will happen. And honestly, this is going to happen because I've been some places where they have automated machines going around, like some of the ports, stuff like that, where they have automated stuff going along. And so here, this is where it's fucking annoying in a way, because a lot of these machines, what they've done is they have gone in, they've made sure that the lines are nice and clear, they've made sure that it's got a little bit more space, stuff like that. So what they're going to end up doing is wherever these AI vehicles are going to be going in, they're going to go in, they're going to make sure that it has nearly nice, clean lines. It'll be some proper tarmacked as well, just because they do work better on flat grounds. There'll be wider bays. They won't be kind of required to kind of go in. Why can't they do this for us? Why can't we have this shit? If we had this shit, it'd make the fucking job a lot easier. Give us the fucking wider bays. Make it so we don't have to go through car parks with fucking massive potholes that drop my fucking coffee off the side. Why can't we have this shit now? You're gonna have to pay for it eventually.
Save a lot of money on
you
trucks and
bastards.
this AI and just do it for us.
Fucking, and they will do as well, and they'll spend all this money on it, and you'll know. Oh well, we've spent £5.6 billion on this year, but that driver there was a lot less money than that. Now you have to pay like 5 IT technicians £500,000 each a year because they're so highly fucking trained. Just pay some. I was going to say something. I don't know what I was going to say.
You've lost
I don't
the
know.
rant.
I don't know where I was going to go with that. But basically, yeah.
I think it is kind of going backwards. Yeah, the technology is clever, and with cars and that, I think it's a great idea. With trucks, though, I think you're eliminating what you don't need to eliminate effectively.
I don't think you need to eliminate a person backing up.
No.
I think a person backing up or a team of people backing up. Now you could give the person extra tools, all right, to back up. You know what I mean? As in like maybe some sensors, but a lot of it's.
I think they should
the
have
simple stuff like driving in the freeway,
person.
driving in a motorway in a straight line. You could actually save money too by having them convoy. That way, there's less wind resistance. Yeah. And of course, when the front truck brakes, they all brake. You know, it's basically a train with invisible hitches.
But then,
I like that idea.
You could have like the AI truck and a driver, but then they don't potentially have to have brake because they could sleep in the back of the cab while the cab's driving, and you've got a straight run for a couple of hours. It can drive in autopilot while you're asleep. And then when you get somewhere dodgy or you get to a site,
definitely the goal for a lot of companies.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. You're not eliminating it.
The most telling thing here, and the reason why I don't think AI trucks are going to be coming anytime, even in potentially the next half century. I genuinely, I don't think in my lifetime I cannot imagine trucks. Yes, I think that there will be. I think there'll be adaptive, or kind of like a bit like what the Tesla has, but drivers will not get replaced in my lifetime. I don't think.
No.
And the reason I say that
can you imagine
is
one
because
trying to do a
aircraft which don't have trees, don't have people walking out in front of them, don't have any of that stuff, and actually have the ability and have had the ability to fly themselves very easily from airport to airport. They can do it all automatically.
Wait, are you talking about these machines that are up in the air that weigh a few hundred ton that carry hundreds of people, and if it drops from the sky, it has potential to completely destroy a building?
It does.
These are the same things, yeah?
That's
okay. That's what I make sure. Wait, what happens if a truck all of a sudden dies and runs out of gas, what happens to the truck? It just stops. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Which
Yeah.
again,
No, we're totally not talking about apples and oranges
Right.
here. Go ahead.
But where you're saying is, what if something goes wrong? That's fine. But I'm not talking internally on the truck. I'm talking externally. End of the day, how many times have you driven around and some absolute prat has pulled out on you or done something or done this?
Never.
But the thing is, right?
Fuck off.
The thing is, the trucks don't have that intuition of when someone's going along and you see that, when you're on the motorway and you see that wobble. Like, the cars do that little wobble.
You
You're
hold
about to
back.
pull in front of me, and you're already on it, ready to kind of do it. I don't think they'll won't be able to react that quick, or there will be accidents. And just to point out, there's been multiple. There's 8 lawsuits against Tesla about autopilot crashes. So the crashes that have happened and have been responsible. The responsibility of the car. The car has crashed.
Oh shit.
So this is something that
but
is
they're not
happening.
meant to be in charge fully, are they, at the moment?
Well,
from the law?
I don't think that will change for a long time.
The bit that scares me about these Teslas and the electric ones is the battery in them, because they self-combust if they get damaged and explode and all sorts.
Yeah.
That's another territory that is not fun about them.
Well, gasoline vehicles also combust
They do. But here's a
because
question for you.
they have actual petrol
Why
in there
is
that's
it
very flammable.
they're allowed to go through tunnels?
What's this?
Electric cars. So how certain basically even some people will know this one here, but there's a very short tunnel on the A50 going through Stoke. It's I don't
You're not
know.
allowed to take certain classes.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
go up and
because
around and over.
It's you're not traveling with it. It's part of the vehicle,
But
so you're fine.
If-
It's not,
if
it's
they're-
not
Probably a
dangerous
certain
goods,
weight
it is
as
part
well.
of the it's
Oh,
part
there
of the
is.
vehicle. So it's not dangerous goods because it's part of the vehicle. Now, if you took that battery out and then transported it, you wouldn't be allowed through, and you'd be under full
I'm
ADR
still thinking that there's a
regulations.
weight. There's a certain amount of weight.
well, actually, on that same thing, why is it that
Uh-huh.
the car transporters that carry
Yeah.
Teslas don't
'Cause they're in
require
the car.
ADR?
They're in the car.
Yeah,
If
but
they were
it's
out
still
of the
it's
car,
still
no, yeah, but because they're in the car and they're part of the car, they're fine.
is
If
that
they were
is that
out of
actually
the
what
car-
ADR
yeah,
states?
Yeah. If you were,
Oh wow,
if they were
Actually,
out
that's
of the
what
car
they
and
are
then you were traveling purely with the batteries, then yes, full ADR would be engaged. You'd be in scope. But because they're part of the car and it's part of transit or whatever it's called, I can't remember the technical name is, then they're fine. It's like your LPG, isn't it? In your tanks, if you've got LPG tanks, you're fine because it's part of your vehicle.
There you
What's
go.
Chloe factual again?
Yeah, honestly, we're nailing it. We're
Ness
nailing
is
it.
nodding,
Nice one,
so I
nice
presume
one.
I'm on the key there.
You know,
She's like, yeah, she's got it.
I have made it a mission because to actually, it's not the easiest thing to just say, okay, truck, look to the right, look to the left, blah blah blah. There's obviously there is variables.
Yeah,
but
there's
I do
angles,
believe
there's
that
all sorts.
for a lot of places, again, it's all about. It's not an actual robot doing it. It is the robot telling the driver how to do it. You know what I mean? As in, so it wouldn't actually. This is what this guy wants to do. He basically wants to, make a device like a GPS where it says make a left, make a right. You know what I mean? As in, so, but it's kind of like it'd be like an
What, to
instructor.
tell the
Like
computer?
yeah, basically it would be an instruction. Like one time, I actually had my wife drive my semi truck while I was walking next to her, and she backed up into a really difficult space. All right,
Yeah.
all by herself, and she did it in one shot because I told her what to do.
Yeah.
I was just verbally telling her what to do, and she had all the trust in the world in me, and and of course, I asked my boss, and hey, do you mind if I do this? And he was like,
Oh,
"Yeah,
I was
that's fine,
about
whatever,
to say you did check with your boss before you did
yeah,
this.
yeah. This
you record
was
it
for
for video?
this was for the small company.
Should've done.
This was for the small company that I
That'd
worked
be
for.
great.
He didn't care, But yeah, it's just that you can give instructions,
Yeah.
right? Where as long as you're like, okay, now keep steering wheel where it is, keep it where it is, keep it. Now hard left, and stop. Straighten the steering wheel up. Now keep backing up straight. You know what I mean? As in, you can do that. So this is basically what I think his goal is. And so, I'm just I believe that you can do that. All right. And I'm trying to write it out to where this is what you have to look for. These are obviously, when you have a variable, that's like a different thing altogether. Now it's a whole new set. When you add one variable, it's a different set than it would be if there was no trailer there.
If you could have a sensor like that where it did that sort of thing, that would be fine. That would work, wouldn't it? Because you could have
You
like
still
a
have the
sensor at
person
front.
that who's still controlling. There's no mechanical thing controlling the steering wheel or anything. This is just an aid to back up.
I don't know. See, I'm not on. I like so the idea of having the adaptive kind of the Tesla style kind of on the motorways where it'll change lanes and do all that kind of thing. I like that idea for HGVs. I think that's a great thing. So okay, so I was talking to someone back at Cherish Perkins, and his wife had like crashed into something, reversed into something, and the company was replacing it because the parking sensors hadn't worked.
Right.
So there was basically, the parking sensors hadn't worked. She just backed straight into it.
She just kept reversing, right?
No, I've seen this multiple times. And I said, I was talking to him, and I knew where it was, and I said, "Did you put it into reverse?" And he was like, "Oh, well, no, you just roll it back." I said, "Well, the parking sensors
It's
don't
not
come
going to
on.
work then. Yeah.
It has to be in reverse." The point being, if there's too much of a reliance on a particularly complex task, it's okay. It's okay having a sat nav saying turn left at the traffic light, stuff like that. But even then, you do get people. You see it continuously, where you see on these trucking things where people have implicitly followed the sat nav. They've not used. So okay, so I use Google Maps a lot of the time for traveling around.
Yes.
Now, I have a few kind of things that make it slightly easier for me. I've got a much lower cab and I'm a tipper, so we are shorter in some things. But if Google's telling me to turn right down this little road and I look at it, I can judge in my head, no, I'm not going down there. That if I go down there, shit's going to go wrong very clearly. So you have to use a bit of common sense. And I think if you don't have that, if there's too much of the thing he's telling you, and it's literally telling you to turn the steering wheel,
but
like
it would be
half
on
turn and this and that.
Sat navs though, because they're quite intelligent and they won't send you down stupid. Well, I don't know. Actually.
No, they're not. They are categorically not.
A stupid state.
I've had them do worse things. I've had them take me. I've had them take me the complete wrong way round through some tiny little village where people are staring at me, going, "What the fuck is that?" To find out the reason it's done it is because there's a weight limit on the section of it, and it wants to bring me on the shortest part of it. But I should have gone through the except for access bit. So no, truck sat navs are not better.
Okay, all right. I'm so sorry. I instantly regretted that statement, all right?
So Colin in the comments has just put about his reverse cameras blown, and that's really on his perimeter markers. Basically, so for 3 weeks, I've not had a reverse camera on this truck, this T200. No. And honestly, I feel like I'm blind without it. I'm like, I had to reverse that spot. I'm like, God, this is horrible. This is what normal truck drivers have to do.
This is in the skip lorries the same. Like obviously in the roros and that you've got cameras, and you're like, yeah, I can reverse like a pro. I'm awesome. You get on the little skip lorries, don't have a reverse camera. You're like, bang, reverse into the skip. Found it. I found it. We're all good. I know it's there. You can't drive. It's terrible.
I don't. It's such a hard one because I do think that there should be things to assist, but I mean, tell you what would be a great thing to have for some drivers.
Yeah,
it'd be cool if you could have a drone that went up into the air as you're reversing.
Have you
and
seen
so,
the
I have a beef with that. No,
go on.
I've done that. I have done that many times, more than most people have ever done it. All right, there's the transmission. All right, sometimes there could be a delay. Sometimes. All right. Now, when it's recording perfectly.
Yeah.
But the transmission that it has, whatever it is, sometimes. Oh, is my truck moving? No, it's not. Even though the truck is moving,
not
but it
quite
looks
up
like
to
it's
date.
still. So it's not perfect. And again, I was 400 feet up in the air, so that might be again, the closer you are, the better. Now I have, I decided to just. Now, this was between cones. This was in a safe area that if I hit anything, it wasn't going to do any damage. So I decided, okay, I'm only going to look at the phone. This was scary. This was so scary. Driving by I got the steering wheel right here.
What,
I got
by
my
just
phone
looking at
propped
the
up in the
drone?
dashboard, and I'm just going to drive looking at it. All right, I'm going to back up. And again, because the orientation of the truck keeps changing, now you're still driving straight. But on the camera or whatever on the screen, it's turning, and it's like so. Sometimes, if you're going downwards and you turn and you want it to go this way, but all of a sudden you gotta wait, hold on. If I turn this way, that means the truck is going to go this way, but you're looking down, and that's why in the game the truck is always pointing north, because when you're in the cab, you're always pointing north. When they say north, you're always pointing straight, just like the truck. That's why in the game it is that way. That way it's less confusion. I've played some games out there.
What game's that?
It is a stupid game. You don't want to hear about it. All right. But I've played games where the ground is still, but the truck moves around it, and I find it very difficult and very confusing. And I keep turning left when I want to go right and all that. So, but anyway, but it's honestly it is scary. In order for me to back up next to two vehicles, which I've done as well, I had to lower the camera down. And I had to make sure that my lights were flashing and I had the best reception. It's scary. I don't think backing up with a drone is a good idea because it could be raining. It could be windy.
So
it could be nighttime. You know what I mean? There's so many variables. You could be in a place where there's an airport nearby and it's illegal for you to have it up there. You know?
Oh, yeah, it's true, actually.
Some of the new cars, they've got a camera on each corner, haven't they? And then they'll have they'll have like a virtual car as you're reversing. So it will do like from above your head, and they'll see each camera angle, and then it will map effectively the whole of your car around. So
I think that's brilliant. I think that's BMW really that does that. Yeah, and it basically looks like there's a drone following the truck or the car.
It looks really clever. But obviously in a car, it's so much easier, isn't it? And then you can see every single angle, so you know you're perfect.
I think the backup camera
on BMWs.
Is it
the BMW? No. This is a question on BMWs. The brands which is notorious for never reversing into a spot and always driving in forwards.
Is it notorious? It's famous for that.
It's always
BMWs.
Oh yeah.
Indicators, maybe.
I would
and Mercedes too. Yeah, I'd agree.
I think backup cameras have made me. Well, obviously I don't hit anything when I'm reversing into the space in a car when I'm parallel park. But it has made it easier, but it's made me I can't do it without it now. I have to have that backup camera because it's just it takes a little bit of the skill away, and so if you do it without the camera, I'm like
do you ever push it though? Because they kind of start beeping like really rapidly when you're
far
away.
And
you're like, I can still push that. We're all good. We've still got a few centimeters.
I got this.
But my car doesn't have it. Daryl's car does, but mine doesn't have it. So
I think it's mandatory that certain cars over a certain year old have to have at least cameras.
I mean, it does.
Why wouldn't they have it at this point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sensors, those proximity sensors or whatever, right? So sure, I'm sure they're very cheap nowadays. You know, the little dots that blend in with the paint in the back, and like that you were wondering for a while. What are those things?
Well, I had an '02 Audi that had them. They just didn't work. But my '08 Kia, I don't have them.
So
no idea.
Actually to bring it round to the beginning of the podcast, actually, when I did my reverses, when I learnt to reverse, the way I did it was with Farming Simulator. I got a truck that was like the one that I was going to be using. And I just practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced, and eventually I just got it. And now I want to learn something a bit more difficult. So I've been using like the B doubles, so I can learn how to I know I won't get an opportunity.
Do you have B doubles in Farming Simulator?
Oh yeah. You can get all sorts. You can get all sorts, but I enjoy the kind of like actual practicing of it. But simple reality is, And
But you're not going to go to a
I
farm
hate
and go,
to say
I know how
this.
to drive now.
Well,
We're
no,
good.
but I hate to say this, but the best thing you can do is just practice on something like a game beforehand.
It does make, it does
makes
make
such a huge difference. I don't. I
learned on something called Parking Simulator. I think it was called Parking Mania. Was an app that I used to play,
think I remember that.
Yeah.
and that I learned a lot about driving on that one. But if you want a newish one, then there's something called My Trucking Skills potentially could help you.
Yeah, you could probably do
I
that.
have heard about
I think
this one.
there's a European version too, and I'm in the process. Literally, sorry, the fantastic owner of this company, he is in the process of making a caravan one, basically for RVs. Basically, it'll be called my RV driving skills is what it's going to be called. So I have I don't know if you guys have fifth wheel trailers over there where the caravan, it's basically a mobile home, a long mobile home, but it has a fifth wheel, and the fifth wheel sits in the back of a pickup truck instead of on the hitch.
No, we don't really have them. Do we have them?
Yeah,
we have them.
They're rare, but we do have
I
them.
saw one last
But
night.
it makes
Did you really?
there's such an advantage to
That's
it. There's such because you can have a longer vehicle, and
Yeah.
it actually
Have
drives better
you
because the
ever
weight
seen
is
the
on
Beetle?
the axle. I have seen the Beetle. I have seen
it's
that Beetle
fucking
you're talking
ace.
about.
Yeah.
All right,
There's a
so-
Beetle with a fifth wheel on the roof of it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
And
I'll see if we can find a picture of it later.
It
That's
can never
amazing.
hit the trailer. You can turn
It
around and round
literally
and round
turn
and round and round.
completely around. It's so
that's
cool.
so cool.
It's so cool.
That's
It's such a
genius.
good design.
So you
I'm
would
actually going to
literally
have that. Is
drive
actually
around
going to be
it,
in the game.
and you wouldn't have to reverse
Is it
into the
really?
parking space.
It
You
is.
just drive
I
amazing.
already planned on that. It's on the list.
Amazing,
That's so
amazing.
I saw that video and it was like, okay, this is awesome. This is so much. But anyway,
It's
sorry.
amazing. We need more of those. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
But then
That's
you'd need
cool.
a specialised vehicle for that, wouldn't you? That's my towing vehicle. It's not my normal vehicle. Driving around with a fifth wheel. No?
It's
No, like my pickup truck can do it. I just got a regular F-150. You just got to put a specialized fifth wheel plate right over the axle, the rear axle, and then you have your you back up to your trailer. And boom, there you go.
That's
Just the handy thing about it is that it actually reduces the wheelbase between the truck and the trailer, so you can actually make better corners.
Yeah, but you can make better corners. Yeah.
Yeah, and as well, it actually is safer to drive on the freeway. There is less
Wheel wobble.
less chance of a wobble going on, or a speed
Yeah.
wobble. All right, because all the weight is on the axle and not
front.
on the rear bumper.
That's
So,
cool. That should
yeah.
be more of the thing round here.
just quickly with this
Uh-oh.
thesis thing
How
that you're
quick?
doing.
Yeah.
So, with whatever this GPS to help you reverse program is, you would have to put in the weight of the vehicle. You'd have to put in the axle setup, and
The axle setup, yes, not the weight.
Well, you do.
It can adjust for that.
Because if
Okay,
I'm,
sure.
if I'm empty,
add the
I
weight,
know.
but I don't.
No, but if I'm empty, I know I can do very different things with my trailer than I
Yeah,
can
it
when
moves
I'm
differently.
full.
Yeah.
It moves differently.
See, I've
but
never
also
been
as well,
And you can
that.
push it more when
You know,
it's
it
empty. When it's full,
100%.
you've got more rock, haven't you? If you
It
try to push it
100%
at more
does.
of an angle.
I
Yeah.
just-
and it's
like,
not only that.
I feel
but
like
you
I'm
also
coming
have-
from somewhere that I just never experienced that. Now, maybe because you have three axles or your axles are forward, I have no idea. But I've always set up the exact same way, and I back up to the same spaces that are loaded and empty, and I just never found it any different.
I always wondered whether it was to do with the
absolutely-
wheels at the back of the trailer rather than a third of the way up.
Yeah.
It looks more
It's-
stable, I think.
Yeah.
It 100%. The weight 100% makes a difference. 100%.
I would say minor difference.
No. Truck Marty, he
on-
agrees.
on-
I can definitely turn tighter, in my opinion, when he's empty.
Well,
I
you can turn
agree.
tighter because you can get more of a jackknife
Yeah,
going on without
and you
destroying
can,
the tires.
You can pick up your lift axle as well,
And it
which
also-
then gets you around
It
quicker.
also depends on
Yeah.
if they say, for instance, if you've had a half load and you've been to the first place, they've taken the back half of the trailer off, gone to the next place. That trailer
Your pivot
is
points at a
a-
different
it
is
will
more
absolutely
forward
be.
now.
But
You know,
again,
I can
that's,
see
that's
that. I
an
can see that.
intuitive thing.
You know,
Maybe
but,
it's just it might be it's completely different setup though, isn't it, to American trucks? So it's going to be different.
I
'Cause
think
a lot of your fifth wheels are set further back. Like we were watching a video on YouTube, and you've got like some of your ones that are done up, your fifth wheel is like miles back at the bottom. Like they've got a whole rigid
we get
load
to
of
choose.
art.
A lot of times we get to choose where we want the axles. You know, well, obviously you can choose that all the way back if you want to, but of course a lot of states don't like that. But you can still choose to do it. You know, so a lot of people when they're at a customer, they don't want to have to think about the swing of the trailer, so they go ahead and sacrifice the maneuverability room in front of the space, so they don't have any swing of the trailer. All right, it's just that because your trailer is now longer. The spread is longer, so you are sacrificing the room in front of the space. So, but sometimes that's fine. Again, if you have a really tight space, you want to have the axles all the way back and have zero
does it make it
swing.
easier?
Yeah, but would that
It
computer
does.
then understand? So you've picked up a different trailer, same trailer, but with a different axle setup. So that computer is then trying to work out how to reverse that trailer, and it's not turning how it should do.
So here's how there'll be some information entered into it. All right. See, yes. Okay. Let's just say that we can add it to weight, but I don't agree with that. But that's just me. Forget about that. All right. The length does matter. All right. So now the truck knows.
I've heard that before.
The truck has information. All right, and it does know how long, what angle the trailer will be at by the time it's straight. Let's say you're at a 90-degree angle. The truck and trailer are at a 90-degree angle. All right, are we all picturing that? All right, so it knows it. By the time, if you crank your steering wheel all the way to the left, and again, I'm presuming that I'm driving in America. Sorry, whatever. You're straightening your truck and trailer up. All right, it already knows where the trailer is going to be. Its prediction is going to be a lot better than our prediction. All right, because when you're backing up with like, oh, let's go ahead and straighten it up right now. Let's chase it right now and let's see where it ends up. Okay, that was way too late. Okay, now I'm gonna have to do a pull forward. Or that was way too early. Oh, let's go ahead and put it back into a jackknife again. You know what I mean? But it's going to be a lot more clever than we are because it's just going to know a lot more. Again, when it's loaded, it'll be a little different because it does a little more sliding than if it's empty. I suppose. I kind of just. But I don't know. I'm gonna keep. It's just again when you add a variable, it's totally different. But yes, the length. But if you have a truck, a trailer with the axles all the way forward, it's going to straighten up later than if you would if the axles are all the way back. All right, with the distance that you're going. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So it will know that. So it'll take that into account.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom.
Righto.
What are you typing?
Bored, he's typing.
Nothing.
Yeah, I can usually tell. I'm like,
Yeah.
Tom's already.
No.
Yeah.
He's
But anyway, yeah, I believe that something like that can exist. Again, you're not taking away the driver out of the cab. You're just basically telling him what to do. And like, hey, I would just do a straight back here. Okay, now jackknife. Eventually, it's just anyway, it's a bit of a teaching tool. Does David have a time frame prediction of what? Of the actual GPS thing? Or the caravan thing?
Many years.
Sorry.
For both,
For
possibly.
both.
I have no idea.
AI.
I have no
AI,
idea.
many
I have no
years,
idea.
many years.
Yeah, I haven't a clue. I'm just basically just typing out. I don't do any of the coding. I don't do any of that thing. I'm just going to do.
I think the fact that someone has messaged you, not specifically you, but the fact that only in the kind of fact-finding stage of is this possible and how do we do it, I think this is a long way
Are you
down
being
the
paid
line.
for this?
No. He says I have to do it for free.
Well,
I would
Because
do
everybody,
something.
all the information, all the sourcing,
I would
and
just-
all everything is all done for free.
just send an email
Send
back
a link
that
to your
says
game.
no, and that's it. There you go.
But I have
Buy
literally
my
talked to
game,
him
maybe.
on the phone. So,
Right.
Right.
Shall we wrap it up?
Let's do
let's
this.
wrap it up.
Yes.
Good
I
stuff.
think we've talked too much trucking.
Thank you
for this
again,
one.
Patreons. We have I think we have 4 people in the actual the chat today.
think
We
we
have
might
Trucker
be.
Marty.
Yeah.
We have Neil. There is a lot of chat going on in there. We have Colin.
Chat's been ongoing.
Timo.
As we've been talking the whole way through. It's just been
Timo,
kind of popping up.
Nessa, who happens to be our producer, but
Don't
Been
say.
he's in there too. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much again, guys. I appreciate it. And we're going to be one thing that we're going to be starting to do. I believe that we should do it on Patreon itself, where we're just going to make tiny little videos and just random thoughts
Or on something else.
or on something else. Which Tom,
This is
we're
an
gonna-
ongoing argument in the background, isn't it?
We'll
David,
argue
you
about
just
this
tried to
later.
make it a
I
thing
want to do it on
by saying
Patreon
it on
because
the
I don't want you to
podcast.
actually have to download. Tom, what is that program?
How
by the way?
about we put
Telegram.
it to the people, right?
Telegram.
So
Yeah,
Telegram or on the actual patrons, please. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
See,
I
we'll
get.
put
I
it
just.
to
I want to make
people.
it easy for us that way. All of a sudden, there's something on our mind, or there's something like, hey, you know what? I want to talk about something. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? And like, and all of a sudden, it's on there. I don't have to do anything. That's
Either
great.
way, we want to get more personal with you. We want to get to know you.
Yes, we do.
We want
You know,
to
so if it
real
is,
personal.
I never heard of Telegram. That's why I'm not on the bandwagon.
David just doesn't
for
want
that.
more apps.
I don't want more apps.
And yet you're making us download all of your games. And on that note, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't listened, how did you get this far? But we shall see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.